Hello, my name is Ray-Welsh, and I am a mediator in Texas. Specifically, I deal in family law mediations, which means I deal with divorces, child custody, child support, and modifications of any child orders that have already been put in place. Some people have never been to mediation, and that's what this video is for. It is for you. Whether you have an attorney or not doesn't matter. This video is for you. This video is all about what you should expect from mediation. Number one, right now we're dealing with COVID and a pandemic, and a lot of things are online. But this video doesn't really matter about whether it's online or in person. It applies in both situations. So, first off, mediation is casual. It's more relaxed. Now, your attorney, if you have one, might be dressed up. They might be in jeans and a t-shirt too. The mediator often is dressed nicely, but not to the level of going to court, unless that mediator is also a practicing family law attorney who went to court that day. But generally speaking, you can be dressed in a more casual, relaxed, but nice look. As opposed to if you end up in court in a trial, you're going to be dressed up as best you can to look the best for your judge. Okay? Mediation's just not that formal. It's a much more relaxed environment. Mediation also is either typically a 4-hour, 6-hour, or 8-hour mediation. Sometimes they go shorter. I've finished some in 2 hours, and others they go longer and they've taken 13 hours. But generally speaking, when you sign up, whether you have an attorney or not, you're going to figure out how long do you think it's going to take. Okay? Most attorneys, if there's an attorney, they have a good feel for it. If you don't have an attorney and your partner, whoever the opposing party is, doesn't have an attorney, ask the mediator how long they think that it's going to be. Mediator's going to give you a generally good idea of how long to expect. Okay? The other part about mediation, at least in family law mediations and primarily in Texas I'm going to speak about, is that we keep people separate. And why do we do that? I do it, I can't speak for everybody, but I do it because I want people to feel free to speak as openly as they want to me. I don't care if they curse. I don't care if they get mad. I don't care if they cry. I want them to feel completely comfortable to tell me whatever they need to tell me. Because if they don't, then I can't settle it. If you speak, then I can help you guys reach agreements. But if both parties are in the same room, people often are going to tense up. They're going to hold back. And they're not going to say everything they want to say. So whether it's in person or whether it's virtual, they're still going to be in a separate room. If you're in person and you're in my office, I have 2 rooms, and I have sound machines going so that nobody hears each other. Okay? If it's virtual, then Zoom has breakout rooms, and everybody's going to be in their separate breakout room. You can't hear each other. Everything's fine. Okay? The only time I can hear you guys is if I'm in your room. The only time, and then when I'm not, you guys can feel free to speak to whomever while I'm gone. Okay? The other thing that's important about mediation is that the entire process is confidential. This is probably my favorite part about mediation, is because coming to mediation does not hurt your case in court. Why do I say that? Well, number one, mediation's confidential, and that means that even the mediator can't come to court and talk about what happened. Okay? You can't call me to testify, can't call any mediator to testify because they can't say what happened. Number two, as we go through this process, I'll ask you to tell me things, and you might say, but don't tell the other side that. And I don't. I can't. If you've told me not to say it, I can't say it. I can use the information however I want to use it, but I can't actually say it. Okay, so for an example of that, of using information is, let's say you tell me your settlement point is here. And I go in the other room and I listen to their side, and they say their settlement point is here. Well, I can't tell the other side we have an agreement yet until I come and talk to you. Okay? So that's an example of I can use it. I know that we are going to be in agreement, but I can't tell them yet. The third thing about confidentiality is that if you learn something in mediation that you didn't know before, you can't use it in court until you learn it through other legal channels. I won't get into those other legal channels because that is not the purpose of this video today. But the whole point is that if you speak in mediation, it can't hurt you in court. Okay? So by speaking more in mediation helps me reach the next part of this which is what to expect in mediation, which is the end. The end results in either an agreement, a recess, or an impasse. Okay? An agreement. This is what we all strive for as mediators. We want people to have an agreement, but we want an agreement that they can live with as well. So that agreement is what we call a mediated settlement agreement. If everyone signs it, then it is binding on all parties. It goes into effect immediately unless stated differently. And then an order gets drafted based on that agreement and filed with the court. If it results in a recess, that means this isn't the end. That means that maybe we needed to gather a little bit more paperwork, or maybe we needed to evaluate something else and we need to come back, or maybe it's 9 o'clock at night and everybody needs a break and we're going to come back and finish the mediation. That doesn't happen that often, but it can happen. And the last option was impasse, which means that we have done everything we possibly can to try to reach an agreement, but it's just not going to happen. Those also don't happen very often. I will say that as a family law attorney, I would say that 95 to 97% of my cases all settled in mediation. So that impasse is really hard to get, okay? And the goal, if you come to mediation, is to try to reach an agreement. Sometimes it's just not going to happen. As a mediator, that doesn't happen very often for me either, okay? I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you've learned something about mediation, and stay tuned. I'll be sending out some more. Also, you can check out my website. It is www.welshlawmediation.com, and there's a bunch of blog articles about mediation and other family law matters as well. Thank you.